So hey there, internet. Apparently we get a little bit more news on Persona Q, Persona 4 Arena 2, and Dance All Night. Apparently, Persona Q, the 3DS game, which is supposed, or at least Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth, which is supposed to be a mashup game between Personas 4, 3 and 4, and they have all of the characters and them doing all the dungeons and everything. Pretty much, this is like a release date announcement, because that's honestly what they kind of talk about a lot. Is pretty much that all four, or at least like all three of these games are pretty much coming over, and they're giving kind of the year, or pretty much the time in which that they were kind of planning on releasing the games, such as like Persona Q is actually supposed to come over here in the fall. The same is supposed to be said for Persona 4 Arena 2, also known as Persona 4 Ultimates, which that honestly I did actually see a trailer for that, and pretty much it does seem pretty interesting. Kind of going into the concept of that somebody has done something to pretty much release their shadow halves out. So now possibly every character has to go back and fight every single one of the shadow halves. And this is also one of the first games to actually or at least like ever since Persona 4 had the concept of shadows, it is actually the first time of us actually possibly getting a chance to see Shadow U, or whatever the main character of Persona 4 is named in this version of the game. Hopefully he's still named Narukami, but pretty much we get to see his shadow form, and they do kind of show just a little bit of Adachi in the background, and that is honestly something which does seem to kind of play a little bit into this one. Now from the trailer, it doesn't necessarily seem as though Mitsuru, Akihiko, and Aigis are actually playable characters, because they're trapped in there over in some other thing. But pretty much that is kind of some sort of a plot for Persona 4 Arena Ultimates, or Persona 4 Arena 2. They're moving on to the Vita game, which is Persona 4 Dance All Night, which is a music style like a button command rhythm game, which does actually seem pretty fun and pretty nice. It is actually scheduled to come over here around 2015, in the summer, in which taking a big, or at least like taking like just a little bit of time in between the possible winter release of Persona 5, which most likely will kind of like, which honestly, with all four of these games planned, we pretty much we will have a lot of Persona this year and next year to possibly fall back on before they wait possibly another four or 5 years before they release another one. So that's kind of what I got to talk about, or at least that's kind of what I had to say about this. It's actually pretty interesting to kind of like see all these games, or pretty much at the very least, it is pretty fun to see all of these Persona games possibly being planned, and also seeing a progression from, or at least like them finally like moving on from 4 and kind of branching into something new. So that is kind of a thing. We still don't have any new information on Persona 5, but hey, the game is coming out soon, or at least in the next, possibly in the next year. So honestly, that is something to look forward to. So I'll see you guys on the next John Graves show. So keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.